Since my earliest childhood, my mother has been the unwavering pillar who watched over me with immeasurable love. She wove a tapestry of affection and care, every gesture infused with silent devotion. From tentative first steps to the challenging moments of adolescence, she was there, guiding my steps with infinite patience. Her dedication knew no bounds, whether it was preparing my favorite meals or soothing my nighttime fears. Every healed wound, every whispered encouragement, it was her unconditional love that formed the fabric of my daily life. She sacrificed her own dreams to nurture mine, and in every smile she offered, I could feel the silent strength of her maternal love. Then life reminded us abruptly, taking away the familiar melody of her voice, shedding light on our past mistakes. The unspoken "I love you," the postponed tender gestures, become ghosts that haunt our conscience. Regrets materialize, pointing fingers at the unsaid and the belated confessions. The painful lesson of this loss was clear: expressing love, gratitude, and seeking forgiveness should be a constant. Words, when left unshared, become heavy burdens carried afterward. Life, fragile and unpredictable, reminds us that every exchange should be infused with sincerity, for tomorrow is never guaranteed. In this precious moment where our lives intertwine with the inevitable passage of time, I invite you to share an intimate and essential moment. This video is more than just a dialogue about farewells, it is an ode to love, gratitude, and the often overlooked beauty of life. Today, we will explore together the 5 things one should say to their mother before the veil of mortality descends. Because every life is a canvas of moments, we will take the brush of memories and paint those instances that define an existence. These moments, once verbalized, transcend the limits of time and space, creating a timeless bond between two souls. We will dive into an ocean of reflection, navigate through waves of emotion, and touch the shores of the human soul. The idea of saying goodbye is often surrounded by unspeakable sadness, but in that sadness, there is also profound beauty. It is in these moments of adversity that we discover our ability to express the inexpressible, to feel the indescribable. We will transcend taboos and fears to explore together this territory of the soul where emotional truth resides. So, take my virtual hand, open your heart, and follow me on this journey where words become bridges between generations, between the past, the present, and the future. Because in every farewell, there is also an eternal "I love you," a recognition for the lessons taught, and a celebration of the legacy that will endure long after the curtain of life closes. Prepare to feel, to reflect, and perhaps even to shed tears. This video is not just a conversation, it is a shared experience of humanity, for, after all, in every goodbye, there is a symphony of love that resonates through eternity. Part 1: Regret of not saying "I love you" often enough. Within our often hectic lives, simple yet profound words linger: "I love you." The frenetic pace of life may lead us to overlook the expression of these feelings, assuming that affection is implicit. However, each "I love you" is a verbal bond, an echo of love that unites hearts. Yet, life is sometimes a frantic race, and opportunities to express our love may go unnoticed. Precious moments are neglected, with the misconception that time is an infinite resource. It is only upon reflection that we grasp the importance of these small gestures. Allow me to take you on a contemplation of the very essence of love and regrets through a poignant story rooted in reality. Sophie, an ambitious architect residing in the dynamism of Paris, dedicated herself wholeheartedly to her career, often at the expense of her family relationships. Her mother, Claire, a renowned artist living in the tranquility of the suburbs, fell prey to an insidious illness. In the tumult of her demanding professional life, Sophie receives a special invitation from her mother, Claire. An exhibition showcasing Claire's artwork, the creations of a talented artist, looms on the horizon. Claire, full of hope, desires to share this unique moment with her daughter. However, the weight of career pressure bears heavily on Sophie's shoulders. She declines the invitation, believing that her involvement in a crucial project leaves her no room for a break. It is a moment where "I love you" could have woven bonds, but out of fear and pride, Sophie refrains, wrongly assuming that there will be other opportunity. The following years were marked by a persistent distance as the gap between Sophie and Claire deepened. Claire's health declined inexorably, each day bringing its share of silent suffering. Sophie's visits to the hospital became a stage for profound regrets. Claire, despite her precarious condition, concealed her pain behind a benevolent smile, understanding the sacrifices her daughter made for her career. Cancer, relentless, progressed insidiously, leaving Claire in a battle she could not win. The late diagnosis heightened the gravity of the situation. Sophie's regrets intensified, the weight of the missed opportunity to say, "I love you," becoming almost unbearable. Moments when love could have changed everything were now lost memories, buried under the burden of responsibilities. Ultimately, the disease claimed Claire, extinguishing the light of her life. Sophie, overwhelmed by the weight of her remorse, found herself alone with the oppressive silence of unspoken words. The cruel lesson of reality echoed, emphasizing the importance of seizing every opportunity to express love before it is too late. As Sophie stands before her mother's grave, the unsaid words resonate in her mind. She could have said, "I love you," for everything Claire had done for her, for the silent sacrifices and unconditional love. However, these words remained trapped in the past, bitterly regretted. There would never be another chance to say a simple, "Mom, I love you." The lesson was clear: let us express our feelings while time allows, for lost opportunities never return. Part 2: Regret regarding unresolved disputes. Throughout our lives, disagreements arise, and disputes erupt, often stemming from misunderstandings or wounded egos. There is sometimes an assumption that there will always be an opportunity to resolve these differences, but reality can be unforgiving. In this exploration of regrets, we delve into the story of Jean, a renowned lawyer haunted by unresolved disputes with his mother, Marie. The weight of unspoken words, lingering resentments, creates a tapestry of regrets that Jean now carries with bitterness. Jean once shared a close connection with his mother, Marie. However, disagreements arose over the years, primarily due to Jean's career choices and Marie's expectations for his personal life. These disputes, seemingly insignificant at first, left emotional scars. Moments where a simple conversation could have resolved everything became painful memories. At the heart of these disputes, impulsive decisions were made. Jean, immersed in a demanding career, struggled to meet his mother's expectations regarding marriage and a more conventional life. Hurtful words were exchanged. Thoughtless actions took precedence. Constructive communication gave way to anger, leaving Jean and Marie in a grip of resentments. Opportunities for reconciliation were there, but pride and resentment blinded them. Years passed, leaving Jean and Marie estranged from each other. Unresolved disputes created an emotional gap, a dark space haunted by regret. Every attempt at reconciliation was sabotaged by the weight of the unspoken words left hanging. Opportunities to break this vicious cycle were plentiful, but the inability to transcend pride persisted. Marie, suffering from a heart condition, repeatedly attempted to reconcile differences with Jean. However, each attempt was cut short by both parties' inability to take the first step. One day, as Jean was absorbed in his professional affairs, Marie succumbed to a heart attack. Unresolved disputes with his mother resonate as a persistent echo, reminding of missed opportunities to restore their maternal relationship. As Jean reflects on the past, the burden of unresolved disputes weighs heavily on his heart. The poignant lesson lies in the fragility of human relationships and the necessity to resolve conflicts before they leave indelible scars. Unresolved disputes can transform into persistent regrets, a painful lesson to remind us that reconciliation is often preferable to persistent distance. The wise advice we can draw from this story is this: do not postpone important reconciliations. Unresolved disputes can become an unbearable burden. Wisdom lies in the courage to forgive and seek peace, for time cannot be recalled once it has passed, carrying with it the opportunities for reconciliation. Part 3: Gratitude for Sacrifices. At the heart of our relationships, silent acts of devotion and unrecognized sacrifices often trace the invisible thread that binds us to our loved ones. In this exploration of regrets and gratitude, let's delve into the story of Chris, a young man who, immersed in his own world, overlooks the sacrifices of his mother, Anne. Through the prism of gratitude, we will discover how simply saying "thank you" can heal wounds and illuminate the darkest corners of the soul. Chris, engrossed in his artistic aspirations, remained oblivious to the relentless efforts and sacrifices his mother, Anne, made silently to provide for his needs. Anne, a dedicated nurse, spent her days caring for others, often at the expense of her own health. Every day, Anne would rise before dawn to tend to Chris, ensuring that he lacked nothing. She would then head to work at the hospital, providing careful care to her patients. Anne's health rapidly deteriorated due to excessive stress and challenging living conditions. Blinded by his own concerns, Chris failed to recognize his mother's sacrifices. He responded poorly to Anne, sometimes insulting her. His cruel words were like knives, hurting Anne's soul, who, despite everything, continued to love him unconditionally. Chris's disrespectful actions were also manifested through thoughtless behavior. He deliberately ignored Anne's advice and concerns, rejecting any form of maternal support. His attitudes became an emotional burden for Anne, whose dedication was constantly rebuffed. Anne's health further deteriorated, weakened by stress and neglect of her own well-being. Eventually, she was diagnosed with cancer, a disease that had evolved due to her unwavering commitment to her son, despite challenging living conditions. And succumbed to the disease in the solitude of her struggle, leaving behind a son filled with remorse. After Anne's death, Chris found himself in despair, wondering how he would live without his mother, the one who had loved him unconditionally despite his mistakes. As he sifted through Anne's belongings, he discovered an old box containing her diary. With tear-filled eyes, Chris began to read the pages filled with Anne's most intimate thoughts. He learned how, at the age of 17, she had been abandoned by her family for choosing to keep her child. The journal revealed her struggles, sacrifices, and the emotional price she paid to give Chris a better life. And had given up her dreams, endured family abandonment, and overcome financial hardships to raise her son. The pages described her immeasurable love for Chris, despite the disputes and disdain. Overwhelmed, Chris finally realized the extent of the sacrifices and the strength of unconditional love his mother had offered. The conclusion of this story underscores the transformative power of gratitude and understanding. By discovering his mother's unsuspected sacrifices through her diary, Chris, overcome with tears of remorse, became aware of the richness of maternal love. In the pain of loss, he understood that simply saying thank you could be a source of healing and reconciliation. This emotional awakening became the catalyst for profound transformation. Chris realized that gratitude, expressed sincerely and regularly, can weave indestructible bonds, even beyond death. So, let each one remember, life is fleeting and our loved ones are treasures to cherish. Let's not wait for reality to slip away to express our gratitude. Let's say thank you today, embrace our relationships with gratitude and honor, for in these small gestures lies the power to transform regret into eternal love. Part 4. Sharing an unforgettable moment. In the intricate tapestry of our lives, sometimes unforgettable moments are woven, instances that transcend time and leave an indelible mark on our hearts. Let's delve into the poignant story of Sarah, a young architect, and Anne, her dedicated and passionate artist mother. Their lives take an unexpected turn when a tragic accident becomes the catalyst for a profound and emotional artistic exploration. Sarah, a thriving young architect, had a flourishing career but a strained personal life. Raised by her father after her parents' divorce, she often preferred the company of friends over that of her mother, Anne, a talented artist. Their relationship gradually deteriorated. Anne, passionate about art, felt the need to re-establish bonds with her daughter. She suggested the ambitious idea of creating a painting together that would capture the essence of life. This project became the point of convergence, an opportunity for mother and daughter to reconnect through artistic expression. When Anne proposed the project, Sarah, claiming to be overwhelmed by her career, refused to participate. She pretended not to have the time, hiding the fact that she spent her weekends with her friends. The ties further strained, giving way to frustration. One day, as Anne crossed the road, a drunk driver violently struck her. The accident was of devastating magnitude, leaving Anne severely injured. Emergency services rushed her to the hospital, but the impact of the collision was too severe. Anne succumbed to her injuries, leaving Sarah plunged into profound grief. Confronted with the tragedy, Sarah realized the extent of her initial refusal. Guilt and regrets engulfed her as she understood that the artistic project could have been a means of connection with her mother. The unrealized painting became the poignant symbol of a lost opportunity. Sarah found herself alone, bitterly regretting the time wasted. This tragic tale of Sarah and Anne teaches us that life is fragile, and time cannot be regained. Family bonds, often overlooked, can be irreparably broken by our choices. The wise and enlightened counsel that emerges from this story is this: do not postpone love and important connections, for tomorrow is never guaranteed. May each person draw from this story an awareness of the importance of relationships and the courage to express their feelings before it is too late. Part 5. Regrets for missed opportunities. Life, shaped by choices and encounters, sometimes confronts us with missed opportunities, precious moments that slip through our fingers. Let's delve into the poignant narrative of Bill, a talented introverted programmer with promising dreams, and his mother Hillary, whose regrets for lost opportunities weave a deep emotional tapestry. Bill, a young introverted programmer, often finds himself at odds with his mother Hillary. Bill's aspirations, though legitimate, are misunderstood. His shy nature and preference for solitude create frequent misunderstandings and disputes. Hillary, devoted to her son, seeks to establish connections, to share moments. Despite constant efforts from his mother and opportunities to connect, Bill prefers to retreat into his virtual world, scrolling through social media rather than seizing those precious moments. The disputes, instead of resolving, deepen. Hillary, eager to connect with her introverted son, does not fully understand his nature. Conflicts become abysses of misunderstandings, leaving deep emotional scars. Hillary is struck by a rare and debilitating illness. Plunged into despair, she bravely battles the disease, but Bill, immersed in his virtual worlds, does not grasp the gravity of the regrets to come. Hillary's illness becomes more virulent, and doctors can no longer do anything to cure her. On the day of Hillary's death, a heavy silence fills the room. Bill, devastated, holds his mother's cold hand, regrets weighing heavily on his heart. The absence of shared moments, common memories, becomes a poignant reality. Silent tears, laden with remorse, stream down Bill's face. Bill, in tears, suddenly realizes the emptiness of shared moments. An echo of regrets resonates as Hillary's last breath fades away, leaving behind unexpressed love and irretrievable opportunities. This story of Bill and Hillary serves as a poignant warning about the consequences of unwise choices and unresolved conflicts. Regrets for missed opportunities remind us of the importance of understanding and cherishing our loved ones while they are still with us. May each person draw wisdom from this story to resolve conflicts, express love, and recognize the value of those around us before it's too late. Through these 5 poignant parts of regrets and unfulfilled desires, the thread of life weaves with shades of pain, belated understanding, and unexpressed love. The regrets of not saying, "I love you," the remorse related to unresolved disputes, the acknowledgement of sacrifices, the sharing of an unforgettable moment, and regrets for missed opportunities are chapters of our lives that we should examine with caution. The weave of these narratives emphasizes the importance of seizing every moment, resolving conflicts, expressing our love, and acknowledging the sacrifices made for us. Life, fragile and ephemeral, teaches us that regrets can become shadows that obscure our memories. However, by understanding these lessons, acting with love, and expressing our feelings, we can weave a richer and more satisfying narrative. May these stories serve as a universal reminder: it is never too late to say, "I love you," resolve conflicts, express gratitude, create precious memories, and seize every opportunity, for in every regret lies a lesson for living fully.